Okay. Well, he's kind of freaking me out a little bit. Where are the rats?
He'll stop doing that. He'll stop doing that when we leave.
I'm in New York City chasing one of the oldest American dreams, the fairy tale of owning an American racehorse. We saw the glitz and the glamour of the industry take center stage this past weekend with the kickoff of the 142nd Kentucky Derby. Sorry, my phone just paused.
That was
dying.
amazing.
Where should I start?
Like jumped in time.
Well, where should I just...
Anyway, go ahead.
We saw the glitz and glamour of the industry take center stage this past weekend with the kickoff of the 142nd Kentucky Derby. And you tell me how many of you are wondering, gosh, I would love to be there with a big old hat, but rooting for my own racehorse. Well, guess what? A new campaign could very well make that happen for you. True.Ink has created the first ever crowdfunding campaign to buy a racehorse. That means for as little as $8, you could own your very own racehorse.
The way we function is like a club, and if you become a member of the People's Horse, then you get to be part and share this horse with literally at this point hundreds of other people across the country.
Now right now the People's Horse is actually just made of fiberglass, so you can't actually see what you're buying in. So that's why I headed to Belmont Racetrack to get an idea of what exactly are we paying for.
They have some teeth. Wow, she really bites.
This is... Stop laughing. This is where the People's Horse will be cared for.
They're what we call cooling out. So when they come back from the track, they'll have a bath and then they'll walk around here for about 20 minutes. And then it's tea time, and then it's bedtime.
What time's bedtime?
Who knows? Who knows? Who's the party animal around here? Are any of you party animals?
Tom Morley is a trainer and a caretaker. He introduced me to one of his racehorses, Power Nap. Really? What's his name?
Power Nap.
Oh, that's his name?
Yeah, that's actually his name.
I thought that's what he was doing.
No, that's actually his name.
It's an interesting name for a racehorse. So I had to ask him, what's your take on this campaign? Do you find that everyone being able to take part in it kind of takes away from the eliteness of it?
It is not an elite game anymore. Of course there are still the big families, the big owner breeders, the guys who are willing to spend $1 million on a horse, on a dream that it's taken them to the Kentucky Derby. But there's no reason why you can't put 150 people together and ask them all for $100 and buy a horse for $15,000 and still live that dream.
Now the campaign has already raised more than $20,000. That's just in a couple of weeks since it first kicked off. The first phase of the fundraising caps off on June 11th, and if you're interested in taking part, just go to True.Ink.
Diana, maybe I got confused. Do you pay, like, are multiple people going to own this horse for $8? So it's not like they're buying a lottery ticket and one of them is going to get it, right? So
no, it's the People's Horse, Bill.
You're saying the People's Horse, so like 300 people can own this one horse. Who cleans up the poop?
Well, you're paying for it to be stabled and
There you
cared
go.
for, so that's why I went to the Belmont Racetrack. But also keep in mind that sometimes horses, they may step out on a racetrack and break their leg, and then they have to get shot. So, you know, it's kind of not the best investment.
That happens dozens of times a year. You'd be shocked. It's amazing.
Know. Sad. Bye, horses.